Dave, the end of the road's finally in sight with your last home game in charge this weekend. How do you feel the club's coped with relegation and finding its feet again in another league?
I think if I go back to last year this time, it was probably one of the best periods that I've had since I've been here. Associated, going through that last month and winning at Wharfdale, winning at Coventry, and I really hope that we stayed in National 1. But with hindsight and everything else, I think if we did remain in National 1, we'd be wallowing at the foot of the table now, and it would have really concerned me because with the financial challenges that we've had to cope with, even in National 2, have pretty much sort of ripped the heart out of the team. What that would have done in National 1 with the excessive travel, etc., etc., we may not have even been able to fill fixtures. So, I think it was a blessing in disguise that we've come down. I think we've done exceptionally well to finish, hopefully, in 6th position. As I say, there's been lots of things that have happened that the boys have coped with remarkably well. So, it's consolidation this year, and hopefully when Adrian comes in next year, they can push on again.
Your time at the top's seen plenty of highs and lows, but what's been your most memorable moments as Director of Rugby?
I think if I go right back to the very beginning in 2002, I came into a situation that was pretty dire. We were forced down the road of using lots of colts, and for the first 4 months it was very challenging. We were in the bottom 3. I think we'd only won a couple of games, but we finished that season winning the County Cup, beating Launceston, who were a league above us at the time, and that was an exceptional performance. And that set the tone for the next couple of years, I think. And obviously promotion in 2005 was a massive thing for me. The 2008-09 season, finishing in the highest position the clubs achieved within the league structure, and the opportunity over the last 2 years to bring a lot of youngsters through. Sometimes when your hand is forced, you have to do these things. But seeing some of these lads come through and mature in the way that they have done has been really pleasing.
I mean, on that note, whose performances have surprised you the most? Who's improved beyond your expectations of them?
I think last year, we brought players in who were very inexperienced, especially towards the end of the season. People like Nick Simmons, Stevie Kenward, Sean Hawkey, people like that, Tom Notman, all sort of found their feet and did exceptionally well. I have to say my own son Aaron sort of excelled as the season went on, and did very well. And that was the pleasing thing from last year. This year, a lot of the lads that I coached at under 7s and 8s have come through. There's 5 or 6 in the side now, and I think if you ask me who has pleased me most, I'll have to say Michael Allen, because Michael, when he came to the club, had no idea on rugby whatsoever, but he's worked so hard, and the day that he got his first cap here, a few months ago now, was very pleasing for me. But Dean Bonds is another one, very good footballer, and has matured this year. And Tom Notman, I know he kind of drifts in and out of games, but I think he's got an exceptional talent, and I really think he can go places. He's just got to concentrate and build on his experience of the last couple of years.
And who do you think Redruth's best players over your tenure have been? Which ones have really shone?
Well, you've got to, I suppose, Mark Bright is probably the best player that I've seen here, but locally, Mark Richards, James Mann. It'd be unfair of me to sort of try and pick ones out, but I've always said my best signing was Mark Richards. He was my first, and I think he was probably over the years the best. When Manners came, he just brought something else to the team, both on and off the field. Even our overseas players, PJ, exceptional captain in that great season we had, and a great bloke as well. And I think we've been very lucky with those players that we've brought in from overseas, that they've all bought into this ethos at Redruth, which is to play with pride and passion.
Sitting on the sidelines can be frustrating at the best of times, but what do you feel your lowest moments been?
I think, if I'm honest with you, my lowest was after the season finished last season, because I came here and watched Cornwall play against Hertfordshire when Sedgley Park and Macclesfield were playing, and when it was finally decided that we were going to go down, at the time I heard it was okay, and I thought, okay, it's happened, but the next couple of weeks were really tough mentally to handle. And I think also, there's been criticism levied at a lot of players which I feel is unfair. I think that the boys are totally committed. I spend so much time with them. But it's a roller coaster ride, these things, you know, and you know what you're letting yourself in for. But, you know, as I've said to many people, I wouldn't have swapped it for the world.
We just had a fine win over Camborne the other day in the Rodders Milk Cup. How important do you feel the old rivalries still are in the modern era?
It's still very important to me. I was brought up in an era when Camborne were a very dominant side, very good side in the 70s and early 80s, and you know, they regularly beat us. And you know, I've played in games where we've been winning at half time out there and then end up getting stuffed by 30 points. So, you know, any win over Camborne at any level is something that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to people who've played for the club over a number of years. Choppers.
If you could have done one thing differently, what would it have been?
I don't think I would have done anything differently. I think you learn a lot. You know, you do things as you see it. You do them on the hoof sometimes, and you know, you gain your experience from that. So you know, I've gained lots of experiences, and you know, there are things that I've regretted, obviously, but you know, you can't regret anything in my view. I think, you know, the time that I've had has been my time. You know, I've shared it with some fantastic people. The 8 years that I worked with Nigel Hambley was so good. You know, I was sort of living in Taunton at the time and doing lots and lots of travelling for the club. But you know, that was a great relationship we had, because obviously we have a family relationship as well, and that was great. But I think, you know, looking back on it, I wouldn't have changed anything.
You spent years visiting your mum before each game on a Saturday for tea and biscuits. Is anything going to change now, or has Daisy had enough of you? We've
had this discussion this week. She said, "What am I going to do when you don't come down?" I said, "Well, I'm still around. I'm not going to stop." You know, but it is a ritual. I've done it for a number of years now, and even when she was in hospital for a long period of time, I used to go over there pretty much at the same time and sit with her for half an hour. You know, have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever it is. But she's my mum. She's been so supportive to me, and I can still talk to her. And you know, she brings me down when I'm flying in rage or whatever it is. But now, bless her, I'll still be there.
Apart from saving the world one energy saving solution at a time, what does the future now hold for you? What are you looking forward to most with the extra time that not being director of rugby will inevitably bring?
Well, I've got my role with the South West Division at under 18 level. I'm chairman and manager of that group, which I've had sort of 6 months at now, and it's great. It's really refreshing to sort of see these youngsters coming through. It's not the elite pathway, it's what they call the aspirational pathway. So it's boys from schools and colleges and clubs that we're looking at, and we pick them up from the county championships, and then we have sort of 6 weeks with them to development into a divisional side. And then hopefully some of those boys go on and represent England. So, you know, I'm also sitting on the national delivery team at under 18 level as well. So that's going to take a bit of my time up. But you know, obviously, I want to watch my son play, wherever that may be. Well, I know it's at the Pirates, but wherever he may be. But I'll still be here at Redruth whenever I can. It's my club.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that, Dave. It's been a pleasure, and looking forward to sending you off in style this weekend.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm looking forward to it. You know, it is another day, it is another game, but I know how I'm feeling now, and I have been for the last week or so, and it's going to be a very emotional day for me. But you know, it's got to come and it's got to go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well.
And here's your best bits. No, joking, there aren't any.
Thank you.
Cheers.